Well, I first met Chuck in the year 2000 when Infocorp and First National actually had some joint business meetings in Atlanta.
I think I met Chuck pretty much from the very beginning when he started with the bank.
It was probably 2008, and we were actually consolidating our organization, so First National and Infobank.
I kind of remember the first time I went down to Atlanta when we had Infobank and worked together.
So the first time I met Chuck was in the credit risk, and he was a senior leader, and he brought a lot of knowledge and experience to the bank.
I was impressed with Chuck. He always had a lot of business knowledge.
He's a person who commands presence in a room. Probably one of the first people I noticed.
Chuck looked like a very serious guy and worked very hard, but a very smart guy.
One of the adjectives that I would describe Chuck as is very mindful of what he was doing and how he approached his work in a very methodical manner. That was why Chuck was great to collaborate with, is we could both have conversations about it. We could meet in the middle, even if we didn't agree on things, but it was always great collaboration, and the product of our conversations and what those projects were very meaningful. I think he's maybe hard to get to know initially. Once you do get to know him, you realize what a kind and compassionate guy he is. My wife Pam and I got to know Chuck and his wife Pam really from our church. We noticed Chuck and Pam started attending the church, and we're surprised in no time at all that they were involved in many leadership roles within the church. Leadership on the worship ministry team, the music ministry team, and then Chuck's involvement on the praise band team as well. So it didn't take them long at all to be recognized for their talent and ability and their willingness to really lead and inspire others.
About a year ago, First National was piloting a leadership program that involved trained horses that are healers and teach people about themselves and leadership. And what they were teaching us is that the horses sense your energy, so they mirror what you're doing. And when I was in the rink and others were in the rink, like the horses were like freaking out and running around in the rink, and we were terrified, and the energy wasn't great. And then Chuck gets in to the rink with his horse, and that horse followed gently behind Chuck, took every command that he made, and I see that in work. People follow him, and he had absolute, utter control of that situation, and that shows up, I think, every day.
He'll always give you honest, straightforward answers, which I appreciate. But he and I have gotten to know each other rather well over the years. We go to lunch frequently. And I just always enjoy his company and his knowledge and just his sharing his thoughts with me. And we've established that relationship over a long period of time.
He's been a mentor. I mean, I've gone in his office several times and asked him about some advice. And with his knowledge and years of experience, he offers it up to me, and I take it. So he's been great for that. And I really appreciate that about him.
Chuck plays a big role in the community. He's a board member of Big Brothers or Big Sisters, involved in the local church and African American communities.
Habitat for Humanity, I think, is another one of his big passions, and I know Pam has also led several other charitable organizations as well. So they're an inspiration to all of us, and I think an example of giving back and helping those less fortunate. We were both asked to perform in a band, so he played that night, and then I hired a bunch of musician friends of mine. One of the fun backstories was that we only had one rehearsal for the band. But Chuck was great. We came the night before, we rehearsed. We had a great time. I was out at Anthony's and made a lot of money for JDRF, and it was just a great event.
Several years back, we went to New York on a management trip, and one of the networks actually took us to this place in Columbus Circle. It was where a jazz band was playing. I remember thinking, this is incredible. You're overlooking New York City, bright lights are out there, and then I just happened to look over at Chuck, who's sitting right next to me. I've never seen him so happy. And I said, you really love this, don't you, Chuck? He goes, yeah, I love this stuff.
People in the bank that work with him know what a talented statistician he is, but he's an equally talented or more talented musician than he is statistician. My favorite Chuck moment is one of the first Sundays that he started serving on the praise band, starting the worship and the music was going. All of a sudden I heard the most beautiful music from the praise band, and it was, I thought Kenny G maybe was making an appearance, and I looked over and there was Chuck. Sunday mornings he will hardly be able to get all of his instruments into the church before the worship services start because he is able to play so many. One-man band, the guy is capable of doing that, for sure.
We actually were at an event for the bank in Nebraska City a couple of years ago, and Chuck's band had been asked to entertain us over dinner. He was doing a relatively sentimental song, I guess is what you'd say, and everyone was kind of just listening and in the moment with Chuck. And I look over, and there's another member of the team. His name's John Doyle, and he's kind of like sitting in the crowd like this. Like he was just enamored with what Chuck was doing. It was almost like Chuck was serenading him, although he wasn't. And that's one of my favorite moments of watching Chuck in his music.
For the data part, he really is the man who builds the enterprise data management team, the one I'm currently working on. And he has such a good vision and a good leadership and a good way to manage the team.
Chuck is a tremendous leader, and I think the work that he's done, especially over the last few years with all the data contribution, has been tremendous. We are light years ahead of where we were just a few years ago. We're really making some serious progress into our data analytics, into our data repository. Chuck's leadership has really brought us to that point.
Well, Chuck, you've been a great mentor of mine. I've learned a lot from you. I think the bank's in a much better place because of you. And I want you to enjoy your retirement, enjoy your music, enjoy your charitable participations. I know you have big plans for that. Enjoy those 5 grandkids. And, I think you're going to have a great time, but always remember to keep in touch. And, I hope to see you often in the years to come.
Hey, Chuck, congratulations on your retirement. Thanks for all you have done to the bank, to the community, to the team, and to myself. Enjoy your retirement. Have fun. We will miss you.
You've been an inspiration to me. I look to you on many occasions for your assistance and your guidance, and you've always been forthcoming. I really appreciate the time that you spent with me to try to make me a better person, make me a better manager, make me a better leader, and I wish you all the best in your retirement.
Chuck, I'd want to say best wishes to you on your retirement. Thanks for a great career at the bank. With the rest of your friends and family, we just want to say thank you for your service. And I'm going to miss you, and it's been a blast being able to gig with you, and those are some of the memories that I'll cherish for a lifetime. So best wishes, Chuck.
Well, Chuck, I want to thank you for all you've done, for your great friendship, and wish you all the health and happiness in your next adventure. I prefer not to call it retirement, but I think your next adventure. Certainly looking forward to hearing how all that goes. Selfishly, we hope that Omaha continues to be home for you guys, as you would leave a huge void in our church and our community if that wasn't the case. So, again, all the best, and cheers to you, my friend.
So Chuck, you deserve this retirement more than anyone I know. You have brought so much to the First National organization. I admire you and all that you've done. You've been a mentor to me, and I wish you, Pam, and your entire family all the best, and look forward to continuing to work with you in community, and hope to continue to get to also see you enjoy your music. Farewell, but not goodbye.